Hello, welcome to Sheffield Board Gamers Podcast. My name is Rick, and this is episode 71. This month we've got Tom Cauldron. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Rick.
And we've also got Polly as well. Hello, Polly.
Hello.
Hello, thank you both for coming on and talking to me. We're going to be talking about some of the games that we've played recently. Tom and Polly have been to Tabletop Live. Is that what it's called? Is it Tabletop Live in Doncaster?
Tabletop Gaming Live, which is
Gaming Live, right.
done by the Tabletop Gaming magazine.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the official full name. So yeah, you're gonna tell us about that. But before all that, we've got a bit of news. You've been to the local game swap at Patriot Games on behalf of Treehouse, the local board game cafe, and there's a charity as well that's involved, isn't there? Can you remember what the charity is? Roundabout. That's it. Yeah.
This is now running twice a year. The last few times it's happened at Patriot Games. I think that's the plan for it continuing.
Yeah, they've got a better space for it than Treehouse.
Yeah.
So it is really popular and really busy.
Yeah, queues out the door.
Yeah.
But yes, people come along and people can donate games in advance, or you can come along with a bag, and then you get in, browse through all the games that are there, and pick some. If you want to take anything, pick something and pay what you like for them.
Yeah, they ask for a minimum £3, but honestly, people are usually more generous than that because they have some good games.
And they've started sort of sorting out some of the premium stuff and saying sort of, minimum suggested donation for these ones. So someone donated a massive Gloomhaven box, which was apparently in decent condition with some stickers stuck.
Yeah.
And that was on the premium games box shelf.
Yeah.
So.
And they have a 3 games minimum, but you can go around more than
3
once.
3 games maximum.
3 games maximum.
Not I was amazing. Picked up 3 games.
3 games maximum,
Yeah.
but you can go around more than once, and they have a table of small games which don't count towards your total.
I think they've had previous. This is a couple of years they've been doing this now, and previous time people have just hoovered up every good game, so people coming in after them have nothing. So they've kind of tried to control that a bit now.
Yeah,
you can only have 3 max. But,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've been before. I didn't actually go to this one, but I've been before, and it's been really good, and it's for a good cause as well. It's good for the local charity.
They put on a bit later how much they raise.
Yeah,
and we actually managed to do our aim of taking more than we come away with.
All right. Yeah.
2 big bags of games, and only came away with 1 game.
Okay.
that is a success.
Yeah.
Slightly lighter.
Yeah, it's a good way to clear some space on the shelves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know some of the other club members went as well, and they picked up some bargains. We were talking about it earlier, but it's a good chance to see what's available and pick up something for cheap. But still done it to a good cause. So they're usually pretty good. Like you say, busy was it?
It was, yes.
Yeah. It started at 10, and we arrived at about past. Yeah. And the queue was right to the door,
right
from the back of their main gaming hall.
Yeah.
And it carried on like that pretty much until lunchtime.
Yeah.
And without it slacking off. And most of the people coming in were donating more games as well. So even anybody coming later stands a chance of something that's just been donated.
Yeah.
Which is
So it sounds like it was a success then, another successful one for them.
I think so, and I think the next one's due in September, I think they said.
I presume so, it's twice a year, so it's placing out
Yeah, it's good that they're doing a regular one as well, because that means if you miss one, at least there'll be another one sort of within 6 months or so. Just to mention as well to our listeners, we have changed our Sunday session. So we used to meet at the Red Deer on the first Sunday of the month. But we've actually changed it now. We're meeting at the Outpost instead. But it's not on the first Sunday of the month. It's not going to be the same date all the time because of the availability of the Outpost. So we booked in for the week after on this month. So it'll be the 8th of March, our next meeting it won't be the 1st of March as it would be normally at the Red Deer. But if you want to come along to the Sunday session, we start at 10 o'clock. There'll be people there playing games pretty much all day until they finish. I think they finish about 6 o'clock in the evening. They've got a good little library. They've got a little library of games there, of board games that you can play. Or there were plenty of club members there that have their own games as well that you can join in. But if you're free on Sunday, the 8th of March, pop in and say hello. And we'll be at the Outpost in Sheffield.
We've got a couple of sessions there now, and it's in a nice place. Yeah. It's interesting to, while we're sitting over in our corner playing board games, seeing all these people standing around intricate scenery and moving their models around. It's mainly a wargaming shop, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got good lighting and good tables.
Yes.
The chairs are a bit odd, but
yeah. They do food as well. They've got a licensed bar as well, so you can have tea, coffee, pop, things like that. But they do have beers as well, cider.
It's got one going with it.
So it's got a little car park out front. But last time we went down, it was quite busy. So there's a paid council car park just outside. So.
And it is pretty handy for public transport as well. It's not too bad to get on.
Yeah, I always drive there, but I've heard from a couple of the members, that it's pretty easy to get to. It's on a main bus route, so it's
handy for us.
Speaking of Warhammer shops, there's one opened just down the road from me in Barnsley. So I don't actually live in Sheffield, so I live in Barnsley, which is just on the outskirts. But on our local high street, there's a new Warhammer shop opened. Just in a local little town, so it's a bit unusual. So I popped in to say hello and sort of introduced myself and sort of seeing what kind of stock they've got. And it's going to be mainly a kind of Warhammer modelling shop, and they'll have things like Flames of War and Conflict 47, things like that. The war games that people kind of play. That's their main focus. But they do have a couple of rooms as well. So I said, can we call in and we'll use one of your rooms one evening? So we did that, and me and a couple of friends went down and we played World of Tanks miniatures game. So that's kind of an in-between war game and a kind of board game. It comes just in a box with a couple of tanks, and you kind of pick a tank and you fight each other with rolling dice and stuff. So you can sort of expand it out with expansions, extra tanks and scenery and sort of stuff like that. But we just played the base game. So that was good fun, supporting a local business, and we bought a couple of bits while we were there. Bought some food and drink, and I think a couple of guys bought some little models as well to paint up. And popularity of these kind of places is kind of getting more and more. Seems to be more and more of them popping up all over the place.
Slippery slope, buying one or two models, you end up with loads.
Yeah. One of the guys that I went with, he's actually into Warhammer. And I said, they've got all these Warhammer stuff here. Look, and he said, I've already got boxes and boxes of stuff that I haven't opened yet. So I've got plenty of stuff to go at. One more box aside, that won't make any difference. But apparently he's going to be doing D&D nights as well. That's quite popular. He wants to organise a Dungeons and Dragons evening. So he's got a few people interested in that, and they're going to start doing that once a week. I think that's quite popular at the moment.
Yeah, Patriot Games do D&D night and Pathfinder.
Yeah, their days are massive. They have like 10 tables full of people, don't they?
Yeah.
They're huge. Yeah, I've been there before on D&D nights, and it's really busy. But it's good. I was surprised that, it's only a small little town. It's not a very big place, and we're just on the outskirts of Barnsley, in between Barnsley and Sheffield, and it's good to see that sort of these places are popping up on the high street in these kind of places. And obviously I want to support him as much as I can. So shout out to Galahammer, it's called. Galahammer in Woomel. Yeah. Buy some Warhammer models off him. It's quite good because he has a lot of paints. If you like painting board game miniatures, he has like the paints and the primers and stuff like that, brushes, he has all that kind of stuff. So even if you're not into the Warhammer side, there's still plenty of stuff there to go and have a look at. So yeah, pop down and have a look if you're interested.
Yeah, it's a big business, that whole painting miniatures thing. I never really got into it. It's all a bit of a mystery. I've got one set of elves and got halfway through painting them, and but I never got any further than that.
Shall we move on then? Shall we talk about some of the games that we've played?
Talking about games, gosh, what new idea.
I have played a few games this month. We organised our first official Sheffield Board Gamers retreat. So we had a few club members that sort of packed our bags. We jetted off to sunny Scarborough in February for a gaming weekend. and we played loads and loads of games. I played 16 games over 2.5 days, something like that.
Wow.
Quite a lot of long ones, quite a lot of short ones as well, a few short ones, but quite a lot of games played. So we had a brilliant time. We kind of, in the mornings, we kind of just hung out with each other and sort of did what we wanted. We had a couple of walks around the town, sort of went to Scarborough Castle, and I organised. There's about 5 or 6 charity shops in like the central bit of Scarborough, so I organised a board game hunt. we went around all the charity shops in the morning and see if we could pick up any bargains. I actually found we were looking at the shelves, and I said, "Oh, I can see a Dixit game there," and it was the Dixit logo on one of the shelves. So we went up to it, pulled it out, and it's actually a jigsaw puzzle. You know, the card art, the art on the cards, obviously it's got quite a lot of art on there. It's a jigsaw puzzle of one of the arts that have been done for the game. So it wasn't exactly what I was after, but I picked that up for like £1.50. I thought I'll take that. Still in the shrink wrap, so at least there weren't any. At least there weren't any. I know there's not going to be any pieces missing.
Really. You're a big fan of Dixit, but you don't want to play the game. You want to do a jigsaw.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it does have very pretty art. So.
Yeah. It's a nice. It'd be a nice distraction for half an hour one evening, I think, or a couple of hours or something. One of the other guys found a
solo game.
Sorry.
Do you reckon jigsaws count as a solo game or a co-op game?
Oh, yeah, good point. Could be either, I suppose. Yeah. One of the other guys found an escape route game. So it's not one I've heard of, but it's like an escape room kind of puzzly murder mystery type thing. So I picked that up as well. That was a bit of a bargain. So we found a couple of things. There were a couple of Yahtzee sets there and an old Monopoly, as you'd kind of expect in these places, but we left those on the shelf. But speaking of escape rooms, while we were down in Scarborough, we did play an exit game. We played The Gate Between Worlds.
I actually saw this on the notes that we had before the podcast. Yeah. And I can't remember whether this is one that we've done or not. We've played so many of these exit games.
There's a lot.
It's hard to keep track of which ones we've done and which one we haven't.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
If you describe what it is, we'll sort of it might ring a bell or it might not.
Well, I'm not going to give any spoilers for people who haven't played it, but basically it's a one-time play game. You open up the box and the components can get destroyed and torn up or cut up as you play the game. So once you've played it, it's basically just recycling, chuck it in the recycling. But the exit games are basically like puzzle games where you kind of work cooperatively against the clock to get to the exit. So this particular one, The Gate Between Worlds, it's a bit like Stargate. There's like a piece that you build that's a Stargate, and it's like on little stands, so it stands up like on little legs. And you travel between worlds. So when you get to the first world, you'll solve a couple of puzzles, and then you'll move on to the next world, and you'll open up the next page of the booklet, and it'll be a different puzzle, and then you'll move on to the next one. So you work your way through these worlds, and there's a bit of a story that goes with it as well.
That doesn't sound like one we've done, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if you've played any of the other exit games, you'll pretty much know what to expect. Like, we were checking the box for clues and things like that. They always put clues on the cover or on the back page or somewhere on the actual box itself. So, yeah, if you do play any of the exit games, don't throw the box away when you start playing it. You'll need that.
Could be anything,
yeah, there were a couple of strange items in the box. So when we got to those particular puzzles, we kind of worked our way through that. So it took us probably 90 minutes, I guess, to play through the whole thing. And we kind of rattled through it and escaped. There's a nice little puzzle at the end, like a quite an interesting little tweak at the end where you have to do something a bit unusual, which I think is the par for the course for some of these games. But that was quite interesting seeing how that works. And
they've done so many of them now. I think they are a reasonably consistent series of games.
Yes.
They're always some interesting, but there's always the chance that some puzzle you might just not get at all. It just going.
We did. We did get stuck on one. There was one puzzle that we weren't quite sure about, and we didn't know where to start. So there are some clue cards. You can turn over a clue card, and it'll give you a clue as to what to look at, and then you turn over the next one, and it'll give you, a more detailed kind of description, and then the third clue will give the actual solution to the puzzle. So there was one occasion where we needed to look at the clue cards and kind of work out what we needed to do. But once we'd looked at the second clue card, we were like, oh, that's how it works. And then, kind of work it out. So, yeah, it was really good fun. I enjoyed playing it. If you like the exit games, it's definitely one to check out. If you don't like the exit games, this one's not going to change your mind. It's the same as it's the same as the other ones. Yeah, with the puzzles and everything. But there were a couple of neat little twists in this one, and a few bits and bobs to wrap your brain around. So, yeah, if you like the escape room puzzly type things, then exit. The Gate Between Worlds is definitely worth a look, so have a look at that one. I have actually got the Lord of the Rings one as well. I haven't played that yet. I've still got that one, so that's one that I need to break out and work through at some point. But
I can't remember if we've done that one.
we also like playing the unlock ones as well. The unlock ones are always pretty good.
Yeah, we've done most of them.
Yeah.
Some of them can be a bit weaker than others, or sometimes we've had problems with the unlock ones where it's the things, the technology ones where you've got to do something with the camera on your phone or something.
Yeah.
Well, they've been better since we upgraded we've got Android phones, and since we upgraded, they have been better. But until we did that, there were a couple that were just not really very possible on our phones. So things for people
we have done a lot of the
mind.
unlock ones.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything in the exit game that we played that you need a phone for.
No, they quite annoying.
You need a pencil and a bit of paper to write on.
Sometimes there's
and scissors. We needed scissors, so we had to hunt around the place where we were staying for some scissors. But apart from that, it was really good. So, what have you guys been playing? What have you got?
Well, with a lot of the games we played were from Tabletop Gaming Live. There's one that I have been looking out for a while, and I happened to spot it on a stand at the con. It's a new Stefan Feld game, Druids of Edora.
Oh, yeah. Feld.
No idea where Edora is or what the story of the Druids is. Basically, it's I don't know how many Stefan Feld games you've played.
Only a couple, not many.
Trajan and Bruges, and lots of other things. But it's definitely got his style of there are many different things happening in the game. All of them get you points. But this is definitely one of his best ones, I think. It's up there with Castle of Burgundy for me. We've only played it twice, 2 players. I would like to play it with different player counts and things.
It does play more than 2.
It's 2 to 4, I think, yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick overview of what you do, but obviously there's lots of different things going on, so I'm not going to cover everything. Basically, what you do is you've got a little druid piece, which is moving around on this board. The board has lots of shrines connected by paths, and on your turn, you move your druid along the paths, paying provisions. So the further you move, the more provisions you've got to pay. Then you get to a shrine, and you put one of your dice down. And the higher the number on the dice, you've got to pay provisions again. So you put down a 5, you've got to pay 5 provisions. And then you do the action of the space where you put the dice. And there's various different actions, like getting pieces of an amulet, or building a standing stone, or advancing your sickle thing to get more medicinal herbs, which give you bonuses for later on in the game.
Or just getting flat points, or increasing your knowledge, which is another track that you're...
Yeah. And most of these doesn't matter what the numbers of the dice are, except the higher dice cost you more provisions, but there's also a sort of area control thing. So in any given shrine, if there's several dice, whichever one is the highest gets to sort of control that area and gets points at the end, and also gets points by when you place it down, according to how many things it beats. So there's a sort of... You've got to make sure you keep on getting resources. You've only got 4 of your dice available at the start, and there's 9 more sitting there waiting for you to get them. So you've got to get dice along the way. You've got to get more provisions along the way because you keep on spending them. But you've also got to try and do things that score you points. And you score points in many different ways. You can make paths.
Is it a point salad?
It is a very point salad, yeah. There's dolmens around the edge that you've got to link up with paths. There's some things that just give you straight points. As when you put a dice around on every shrine around the space. Then you cover that up, and that gives you bonuses, which might be points or it might be track movement or whatever.
Yeah, and there's another bit where you can take a token that gives you points at end game, depending what else you've managed to achieve through the game. And
yeah. So lots of different things happening, but you've only got 13 dice. So if you're efficient with your turns, then you could do it in 13 turns. If you ever run out of dice or provisions, then you can just do a Druid in Distress turn, which is where you just take 1 dice and 6 provisions and do nothing else and look sad. Meanwhile, the person across the table is being really efficient and doing everything and getting and refilling their supplies and getting other stuff happening. Yeah, but so it is a lot of stuff happening. You can do many different things. Everything you do is good. So it's about an efficiency puzzle and planning stuff out based on what happens to come out. It's a very modular board, so it's going to be different combinations of actions available all the time.
Yeah.
And of course, the dice, you roll them at the start, and the dice, the number that it's showing is what it is. So you know whether you've got lots of high numbers or lots of low numbers to play with, which is a bit weird. I don't know, if I roll all ones and you roll all sixes, how would that affect the game? I mean, obviously, I'd be doing lots of things without spending too many provisions, but you'd win all the battles of area control.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether so it will be fairly balanced. And
there is one thing that lets you, if you've got that thing, adjust your dice by 2.
Yes.
But
magic potions, that's a whole other element that we haven't mentioned. You can brew magic potions that allow you to break various bits of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway, it's there's a lot going on, but it's once you start playing, it's nice and smooth.
Right.
And it's really satisfying, I think.
Yeah, as Tom says, we've played it twice and we've really enjoyed it. And it is probably short enough that you could play it in an evening. We played it at the weekend thinking, it's going to be a long game.
Massive game. And it took like half an hour to work out the rules and everything.
Yeah, the first time.
But then the game itself took an hour. And that's a 2-player game. It would take longer with a 4-player game.
Yeah.
An hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah, it's very playable in an evening.
Yeah. And as I say, I've played a fair number of Stefan Feld games, and this is definitely one of my favourites of his, I think.
So yeah, we definitely recommend that one.
We picked it up at the con, but didn't manage to play it there because we were playing lots of light games instead.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. We did manage to punch all the bits out, and there are a lot of bits to punch out.
Yes. The board has weird dark bits and things, so it's...
Yeah, but you can see the connections between the different spaces quite easily.
Yeah.
It makes it quite...
And that's going to be different every time you set up the board, because that board is made up of 9 squares and the border pieces, all of which could be in different ranges.
Yeah.
And there is a 2-player side and a more than 2-player side as well.
Yeah, if you've got different numbers of players, some of those tiles will flip over, so you'll have 3 actions per shrine instead of 2 actions per shrine, or 4 actions per shrine in a 4-player game.
Very good. Okay. So my next game is a re-implementation, reimagining, I would guess. It's called Seven Wonders Dice. So this is Seven Wonders, the dice game. It's the same game as Seven Wonders with the same kind of player count and everything, but it's a dice game. So the original Seven Wonders was a drafting game where you get a hand of cards, so you pick one, pass it across, and then Seven Wonders Architects came out. Obviously, Seven Wonders Duel, the 2-player version, and now we've got the dice version. So this is for 2 to 7 players. It takes about 30 minutes to play, and each player gets their own board, like a fold-out board with lots of icons and buildings on there, which I'll come back to in a second. But basically, you'll have a box where you roll dice, and the dice will represent your resources that you need to build stuff up. There's 3 dice that you don't actually use, you don't put into the box. So as people use the resources, they'll be marking them off on their boards, building buildings, doing special abilities, getting money, spending money, things like that. And as soon as one person unlocks one of the green buildings, so one of the science buildings, one of the spare dice that you put to one side at the start of the game, they'll go into the box, and one of the grey ones, one of the resource ones, will come out. So in Seven Wonders, normally towards the end of the age, towards like age 3, there'll be less resources and more kind of buildings, and this kind of mimics that in the same kind of way. So eventually all 3 dice will go in, and then you'll just end up with those 3 dice, and then whatever's left over out of the original 6 that you got. So the unusual thing about this is that you roll all the dice, and they'll go into this dice tray, which is included in the game, and it's split up into quadrants. There's 4 quadrants, and the quadrant tells you how much money you have to pay to use that particular die. So there's a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 3. So if there's a particular die that you need and it ends up in the 0 quadrant, then good, you can take that one for free. But if it ends up in the 3 quadrant, you have to pay 3 money for it, so you have to cross off 3 money.
Is that just about where they happen to land rather than what type?
Yeah, so in the bottom of the dice tray that comes in the game, there's like some little bumps. So it forces the die to go into one of those 4 corners, and then that tells you how much it's worth. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. It is right. Okay, it is really fiddly. You've got this cardboard box, and then you've got a lid that goes on top of it. But you have to be really careful about how you shake the dice, because if you just tip it up and turn it over again, all the dice are going to end up in one quadrant or on one half. So they recommend that you kind of put it on the table and then do it in circles so that you get an even distribution of dice. Oh, nightmare! It's a bit of a faff, and then you take the lid off and you think, oh, all the dice are on one side. Have I done that right, or is it just how they fell? There's a lot of icons on the boards, and trying to understand, they're not particularly clear about what they do or what that allows you to do. So we found that we were referring to there are a couple of player aids that you get with the game, so you can put player aids in between the players and play in that way, but we found that we were referring to those quite a lot, and even then we got some of the things wrong about how they work. Yeah, for a game that should be so simple and smooth and 30 minutes, it's not. It's just too fiddly and there's too much going on, for like what it wants to be, like a simple kind of dice version of Seven Wonders.
The original Seven Wonders is actually fairly good as a gateway thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, there's quite a lot of icons and a few rules about you can't have the same building twice and things like that. People often forget, but once you kind of got that, and the new version is a lot better. I think the new printing of it is better than the old one, because you've got better player aids and the icons are clearer.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one, if you love Seven Wonders, it might be okay. You might get some enjoyment out of it. But I just found it. I mean, I love Seven Wonders, and this was just too fiddly and too much to sort of take in. I mean, if you have a look at one of the boards, if you have a look at one of the boards, it's just trying to parse it all. It's just there's a lot going on, even for what this is.
Yeah, if it's fiddly, I can't see any situation where I'd rather play that than Seven Wonders from the sound.
Yeah, or Architects. I mean, I quite like Architects as well. So for like you say, for the gateway kind of people or people who haven't played many games, that one's perfect. And then maybe step up to the normal Seven Wonders. But either way around will be fine. But this one, if you put this in front of somebody who doesn't play games, they'll just be completely bamboozled by it. Honestly, it's just not going to sink in at all.
What's the player count? Does it also play up to 7?
Yeah, it does go up to 7. Yeah. I think a lot of these rolling rights do, though. A lot of them where you're doing sort of simultaneous things, they kind of do go higher.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it does play up to 7. Yeah. So it does play 2 as well, but I haven't played it 2-player, so I don't know what that kind of game is like. It comes with the actual boards that you get are like laminated. They're like fold-out boards where you're drawing on the buildings and marking stuff off on your board, your coins and things like that. But it comes with like these wax pencil things. And I can see why they've done that instead of dry erase, because if you were writing things on with a dry erase marker, when you crossed off one of your buildings, you might smudge something or rub something out with your hand. So I can understand why they've done it, but the pencils don't work particularly well. And I found that even after I've played it 3 or 4 times, they are starting to mark the boards as well. Where people are like circling coins.
Would be better than
So
I think a wax pencil would be better than dry erase, but if it isn't, you can't see why, can you? Really?
Yeah, a very strange choice. Either give us pads and pencils, or give us, But like I say, I mean, I haven't tried it with. It would work with dry erase markers, but then, like I say, you run the risk of rubbing stuff out when you by mistake. If you're putting something on and you catch something on your hand, you could potentially rub it out. So that's another downside to it. So yeah, I wanted this to be a really good game and to play it with a lot of people, but I can't see it coming out very often, to be honest. Yeah, didn't really enjoy it, this one. 7 Wonders Dice, that was.
Yeah, some you win, some you lose.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next one?
Well, we've got a game. Well, speaking of Dixit, which you mentioned earlier on, this is another one with
very pretty art.
Very pretty art. Lots of weird things going on tiles. I looked it up on Board Game Geek, and it's basically, it looks like it's brand new. It's got 10 ratings. It doesn't list the designer, but I've got the box, and it's Leo Baino. This is a game called Mozaik, spelled Mozaik. We had a couple of games of this with some people at the in Doncaster, and it does something different with the cards. So, I mean, with the pretty weird things happening on cards, or sort of individual art things, you got sort of 2 really big games that have done that. There's Dixit and Mysterium.
Yeah.
But this one does something a bit different with it, because you're trying to sort of create a grid of these things, and outside the grid you've got scoring tiles that you're trying to get to have as many things that fit that as possible in its column or row. So you might have something that says picture or depiction of the sun. So whether it's in the picture or there's a badge with a sun thing on it or something like that, it would count.
Yeah.
So if you got that on a row, and then you got three of the tiles in that row which have the sun on it, then you'll score lots of points.
It's basically a tableau builder, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've got a hand of these cards. They've got, as well as the picture, they've got a number on them. So you've got to decide whether you can put down a low number, which means you'll get the first choice of the
scoring cards.
Of the scoring cards that have come out that round, or a high number, which might be something that you want, but it'll mean you might not get the one that you're wanting of the scoring cards that come. It's a bit more definite than Mysterium, I'd say, because you can definitely say this scoring card is looking for things which have one creature in it in the picture, and you can say that one does, that one does, that one doesn't. Whereas something like Mysterium, there's lots of looseness.
Yeah, it's more interpretation.
Giving you this card,
yeah,
you don't know whether it's about the colour, the vibe, that one mouse down the bottom left, which is holding a sword. There's a lot of uncertainty and looseness, and it obviously generates a lot of discussion among the people who are playing about what it could possibly mean, and the looseness is the game.
Yeah,
they're trying to get on the same wavelength as the ghost. This is very different because you know what you've got. This is a picture. It's got lots of different things in it, but the one I'm caring about is this aspect of it.
Yeah,
and it's does something a bit different to Dixit as well. So Dixit is, you said one word, and everyone's got to try and put down a card which fits it. It?
Well, you put down a card. If you're the
I'm trying to remember how Dixit. It's so long since I played it.
You put down a card, and other people have to put down cards that they think are to do with the thing that
match it. Yeah,
that card,
and
then you score off that.
You vote on which one you think is the one that is the right one.
Yeah.
So is it? Did you say it's competitive this then? Are you working against?
It is, because you're all building your own individual tableau, and trying to get as many points as possible.
Right.
And it's 1 to 4 players. However, there is a version that you can play it solo to see how high a score you've got, but we've not looked at that.
Yeah. And we played a couple of games of it.
We did.
And it's very nice, and it builds up into the nice, agonising. Oh, I could risk going for that by sacrificing this one over here, but that one didn't work out how I meant it to. Every picture is beautiful, as you'd expect, in the same sort of way as Mysterium and Dixit, just put some weird things. Just looking at the ones in the box, there's a swan in a dinner jacket, cute chipmunk on a hang glider made out of a leaf, a serene night's boat scene. Yeah, it's all that nice.
Kind of abstract.
Dreamy images.
Yeah, a variety of art as well.
Yeah.
And it is pretty new. It was on Hachette UK's stand, and they've only just brought it out, started to distribute it here. So that's why it's not very much on Board Game Geek.
Yeah, we probably ought to rate it.
Yeah, we
number 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, I presume it's only just out, so keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, it says 2026 on Board Game Geek, so yeah, it must be quite brand new. Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah, I do like Mysterium and Dixit and things like that, where you kind of interpret the cards.
So it's the same sort of vibe with the pretty pictures, but there's a sort of neat tableau building game in there as well.
You said you played it a couple of times. Do you think there are enough cards? Like you said, this was more defined about what you're looking for on the cards. Is there enough variety in the cards so you can play it once you've played it a few times?
Yeah, and of course
you start seeing the same cards.
For any given card, you're gonna be looking for a different thing, right? You got a card with two people dancing on the top of a drum, and one of them's got a mask on, and the other one's sort of like an Alice in Wonderland sort of outfit.
And you can see the moon through the window.
Flowers in the background and a mirror, and so. But one game, all you're caring about is the knot on the back of the dress of one of the dancers.
Yeah.
Because one of your scoring cards says there's a knot in the picture.
Right.
And another time you might be wanting one with two characters or one with a mirror.
Yeah. And the interesting thing as well is the scoring cards go around the edge of your grid of cards.
Yeah.
So sometimes one card will be scoring off two separate things or not.
Yeah.
Or four separate things, because you could put something at either end of a row and the top and bottom of a column. So you can.
Right.
And occasionally you might have to place something just to get it out of your hand. And it's not going to be scoring anything because you've not got the thing that you wanted because somebody else got it first.
And occasionally you might get the absolute perfect one. Oh my God, this is fantastic. It will score for all four of the things around it if I put it in exactly that place.
Yeah, so it's got a nice sort of strategy as well as being beautiful. So, very nice game.
Yeah, sounds good. My last game then that I'm going to talk about is an old game. I took it to a club recently, played a couple of times now, but it's a game called Queen's Architect. So this is from 2015 by Queen Games.
I've heard of it, never played it. I know you brought it to a club a few times.
It's a medium-ish Euro, medium to light Euro. It's got it's 10 years old, so it looks 10 years old. But I kind of like that. I like that look. It's got a nice map. Like a board that folds out to a map of this countryside with towns and cities in it. And there's a couple of tracks up either sides. And each player will get like an action star. They call it an action star. It's like a star-shaped thing with actions around the outside. So the aim of the game is to be the best architect in the county and contribute to the Queen's castle and become the Queen's architect. So that's your goal. So down the side, one side of the board is a track that goes up. And this track is your prestige of, contributing to building buildings, doing repairs, helping the people of the country, and then you'll go up on this track as you get more and more prestige. So the way that you do that is you hire workmen. So there's a track which shows you all the workmen that are available. So there are different workmen, different guilds. So there's things like an iron worker, a glass blower, a wood cutter, things like that. 6 different types. And what you'll do is, on your turn, you'll use your action wheel to pick an action. So the action could be hiring a worker, getting some money, building a building, resting your workers so they might last a bit longer. But the interesting thing is, when you take a worker from the board, they're actually on like a hexagon-shaped tile. It's like a thick tile that you take. And they'll have numbers around the outside. And they'll actually rotate as you use them. So as you build a building or as you use them for a repair, the worker will rotate clockwise, one kind of tick. And that might change the number from a 5 to a 4. and then it might go for 4, 2, 3, or it might go 5, 1, 4, 2. Some will go up and down, some will get higher, some will get lower, depending on how long they're on the actual wheel. And then eventually they'll drop off. They'll get to a point where they've done the work, they're finished for the day, and then you take it off your action wheel, put it to one side, and then you have to hire some more workers to do the work for you then. So it's got this really interesting sort of timing element where you can hire these workers, slot them into your board, and then they've got a certain amount of time before, and they can have a certain amount of uses before they'll actually disappear. So working out the number that you'll actually get and the number in future turns that you'll get as they rotate around, that's quite a big part of the game, is kind of planning it 2 or 3 turns ahead and trying to get the maximum number of points from these workers, and that translates into prestige that I mentioned along the track that you've got. So it starts off a little bit slow. You start off with some sort of beginner workers, 2 or 3 of them, I think. But then as you get more and more workers around your board, you'll be able to build bigger and bigger, better buildings. You'll go up more and more on the track, and then eventually when you get to the end of the track, you'll be able to contribute to the Queen's Palace. And whoever does that first will be the winner of the game. So unusually, it's not about points or how much money you've got. It's basically a race of this track to try and contribute to the palace first. So you're kind of moving your carriage around the board, building buildings, doing repairs, and the workers are kind of ticking down and then eventually disappearing and then being replaced with new workers from the board. This is a really smooth kind of Euro game. It's one of those games where you've only got a few actions, but those actions kind of ripple down, and the planning ahead is the thing that you need to keep track of. Sort of how much money have I got? Can I afford to hire the worker that I want? Are they going to start off in the right place? Do I need to adjust them up or down to get the prestige that I want to go up the track? So there's a lot of that. There are 2 currencies in the game as well. It's quite interesting. They're just straight coins. So you can get coins from doing repairs and things on buildings, but there's also something called bonds as well. So you'll get bonds for leftover, when you do like a building, you might have some leftover prestige that you can convert into bonds, but you can't spend the bonds. They're just stuck in your warehouse. You have to convert them to money before you can spend them. So one of the actions is converting bonds into money. So there's 2 different currencies there. That's quite interesting. You could end up with loads of bonds, but no money. And in that case, you're going to have to scramble if you need to hire some more workers to convert those bonds. So there's just enough going on to make it interesting and to make it, like a fun puzzle of working out how you're going to do things and how you're going to go about this. Like I say, it's really polished in the actions that you do. There's nothing unusual or anything that doesn't make sense. The only bit that's slightly fiddly is making sure you rotate the workers in the right direction. Because obviously when you use your workers, they all rotate around clockwise, 1 tick. So you have to make sure you're turning them the right way and you're not turning them the wrong way, and then you can get into a muddle and things like that. But that's just one thing to look out for. So there is a little bit of fiddliness there, perhaps. But other than that, it's a really nice, easy playing Euro. It took us about an hour to play, probably like half an hour extra for explanations and discussion at the end and things like that. But probably 90 minutes total. But it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's because of the racing aspect, it does go pretty quickly, and it's got a nice arc as well where it kind of builds up. So like I said, you start off pretty slow, but then towards the end of the game, you might be getting 15, 20 prestige at once, and you'll be jumping up that track in big chunks to get to the end. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, even though it's a bit of an older game. I don't know how available it is, whether you can still get it anywhere. I picked mine up off eBay for next to nothing. But I really enjoyed it, and I'd definitely play it again. It's good at 2-player. Played it at 4-player at the club. It's good at 4-player.
Looking at some pictures of it while you were talking about it, it does look pretty.
Yes, yeah, it does look really nice. It's got that kind of old style look. It doesn't look like a modern game, but
I don't know exactly what.
I think for its time, it looks like it's got the kind of look that you'd want. The map is really nice. The tracks all make sense. Everything on the action star kind of tells you what it does. So, I was complaining about the icons on Seven Wonders dice. This has icons as well, but there's a lot fewer of them, and they do kind of make sense about what they do. So everything kind of clicks. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Queen's Architect.
All the pictures on Board Game Geek is the game set out and just a cat sitting on top of
it. Not in the box.
No.
Okay. Any more games from you guys, or is that all the games that we've played
Well, obviously we've
for now.
played a fair number. Is there anything else you want to...
I've been looking out for a while now for the on eBay for Las Vegas, which is a nice push your luck gambling game.
Oh yes, obviously you've got this and brought it to the club, but there's a new version out.
Yeah,
okay.
And I'd been looking for the a second-hand copy because it was out of print, and then I found out there is a new version. There's slight variation in the rules for putting out the money, otherwise it's just the same as the other game. It has an extra bit which you don't need to play with, but you can. But
optional module thing,
but I picked up a copy for £17, which was cheaper than all the second-hand versions on eBay. So I'd say for anybody who's wanted a copy of that, don't waste your time looking for it second-hand. Go and get it new.
Yeah.
We had a 6-player game at Tabletop Gaming Live, and shortly after we'd finished playing, 2 of the other people we'd been playing with had also bought their own copy. So
Yeah.
it went down well, I think.
It has actually happened to me a few times. I've played games with people, and it's next time I've seen them, they've said, "Oh, that game that we played last time, that dice game, we bought a copy because we enjoyed it that much." It's really satisfying when that happens. Yeah.
The thing with conventions is the temptation is there's a stall right over there.
They've got them available.
So you can play it right now.
Yeah.
That's why we got Mozaik.
That's why we got Mozaik.
Yeah, I did actually play Las Vegas last time I was at a club, I think, last Tuesday.
It's a really nice game.
It's really good, yeah, it's good fun.
It's a good filler game at the end of the night.
Yeah.
People sitting around. And
Mine's just the plain version, but I did actually add a couple of bits to it myself. I added an extra large dice for each player, and that dice counts as 2 dice when you're adding it, when you're looking at the things at the end.
That's one of the things the new version has. It has
these are what I think these are what I pinched out of the new version. Yeah, and I also put a couple of chips in there as well, so you can spend one of the chips to skip your turn and not place any dice out. Once you've rolled your dice, you can spend one of the chips to sort of skip your turn. So everybody gets a couple of poker chips as well. So there's a couple of little bits you can add to it if you've got a few pieces spare.
I do have a slight complaint about the components in that the large dice that you get isn't
not large enough.
It's not large enough.
Oh, okay.
I had to really make sure I was looking to make sure that I knew which one was the large dice. It's like one of the others.
I just had some spare plain dice, so I just chucked those in and replaced 1 dice for each play colour with that, and that kind of worked out okay. But I guess you could do that. It's a shame that they're not very different. You kind of want them to be quite different, or quite a little larger, or a slightly different shade, or something. Don't
be able to see it
down. Yeah.
And they're only a few millimeters difference, and it's like
okay.
But it's a decent price for a new copy. So.
That's a really good price, for a good game. Yeah.
And I would just mention again that we have got the original of, and don't play it very much, Sagrada, which is not very good if you're colourblind. Right. Apparently, I've heard there's a new copy of that out where the colour differences are better. I've not actually physically seen it. I've seen it online.
Yeah.
So if anybody's thinking about buying Sagrada, hang on until the better version's out.
Yeah, we'll have to get Tom's opinion on that when he's played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other games you want to talk about?
No, I think we should carry on with talking about what we did at the weekend.
Shall we move on then to your visit out? So where was it again? Doncaster, was it?
Doncaster Racecourse, yes. It's a nice venue.
Yeah.
Worked well for the con.
Yeah. How did you find the parking and getting there? Was that all right?
We got a lift over.
Yeah, we got a lift over. Drew Leonard, who's part of another podcast called Bucket List Gamers.
Should have been promoting rival podcasts.
Drew gave us a lift over, and we got a lift back from a couple who we play games with at a lot of other cons. And but having said that, we had already planned out that it is actually pretty easy to get to from Sheffield and from Doncaster.
Right.
To get out to the racecourse by public transport, because it's a regular venue in Doncaster for various events.
So it's well served by road links and stuff. Yeah,
even on Sundays apparently, because I did check. But it's.
How long were you there for? How long was the show for? Was it like a weekend or?
They were on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Right. Yeah, it's a 2-day event.
Yeah.
On a Sunday it finished at 4:00.
Yeah.
Which is a very short day. If you were only going on the Sunday, that is quite short.
Yeah.
10 till 4.
Yeah.
There's a fair number of stands there. I mean, it's probably the attendance compared to the Aircon Northwest that we had in Manchester, which is the last con we went to. Probably about the same.
I'd say
people.
so, yeah.
But this is much more stands selling things.
But a good amount of playing tables as well.
Yeah, I mean, Aircon has always been a playing convention, so it had a big room full of tables, whereas this had enough tables, but not as many, and it was more concentrated on the stands. There was a lot of people selling various games and various accessories. Mm-hmm. If you wanted fancy dice, you had a lot of options of that. Yeah, so...
I watched a couple of YouTube videos of people like walking around the stalls and things, and there did seem to be a lot of sort of accessories, like you said, dice and dice trays and T-shirts and people, handmade items, things like that.
Yeah, not so many components. Nobody seemed to be selling meeples and stuff, but lots of nice things that you might want to go with games.
Several people with smaller game publishers or game creators had their own little stands where you could demo their games and buy them. There was Rick that we know from Sheffield Playtest Group had his next game on being demoed,
which isn't coming out until next year, but he's just sort of doing demoing and a bit of promo for it.
Yeah, he's been busy all weekend.
Yeah. And he sold some copies of his previous game, which came out last year.
Survive Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played a nice little abstract game made on a sort of homemade wooden board,
which we did buy. We also played a sort of a vicious card game, which, given that the minimum players is 3, we're not going to play it much, but I bought it. It was cheap. I bought it because I'm going to bring it to a Sunday session at the club because I think it's a nice filler.
Okay.
It's called Bad Trevor. Yeah. Not at all the sort of game we play at home.
Is that like a self-published type thing then? Is it like just someone?
It's a small publisher, yeah.
Yeah, various other bits with larger publishers. So we did some demonstration games. Asmodee?
It was Asmodee.
So we tried out the Lord of the Rings trick-taking game and bought a copy of that as well, yes. And Hachette had their stand. The thing at the moment with people selling games is apparently having custom-made suits about their games. So the guy selling Cat Earth was wearing a suit which entirely covered with Cat Earth.
It had the box design all over it, pretty much.
And Flavian from Hachette Games, it was always very visible and always very loud and dressed up. This time he was wearing a macro suit.
Yeah.
So if he was willing to stand very still and let you get very close to him, you could actually solve a murder mystery by tracing all the suit.
Yeah. I love a suit like that. Yeah.
I know, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, that seems fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hachette had a little a stand, and they had one of the seminars. They had a fair number of seminars things going on. They had, bucket list board gamers, and they had a live D&D thing, and then someone talking about vampires in gaming. But one of the other things they had was Flavian doing announcements of all the latest things that they're doing. There was one that was very pretty, and it's he picked it up, and everyone went, "Oh, that's nice." And then the bottom of the box opened as a drawer, and it's got lots of little buildings in it, and everyone in the room went, no idea what the gameplay is like, but it's very pretty. It's got a little drawer.
Yeah, and he was saying that Hachette now have their own Hachette UK now have their own website which they sell things through, which is their new thing. And he says it won't be cheaper than buying in your local games shop, but it's just to get stuff out there and basically to have a place where retailers can see their stuff as well. So that's worth looking up. Hachette UK's games website.
And the quiz,
yes,
had a big table full of games as the prizes. So I think, whoever won the quiz it was us. Just got first choice of that table, but I think pretty much everyone who was in the quiz ended up getting something off that table.
Yeah, because they had so much donated from
the stand holders
games companies. Yeah.
Was it like a gaming themed quiz then? Was it like a?
It was, yeah.
It was basically a pub quiz with gaming questions. Yeah. And done in an analogue way, somebody at the front asks the questions and you write them on paper and then take them up.
Yeah.
Not like when it's done at Aircon and Expo.
They use this app version.
They use the app version and sort of
takes into account how quick you were to answer the question.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a round of which of these ridiculous Monopoly variants are real. And they all were, because Monopoly's done so many strange ideas. There was Monopoly Jenga. I mean, what the hell?
And nobody believed me that there was a game called Monopoly. Everybody went, no.
That would be a stupid idea.
And there is a game called Monopoly. Or there was.
A stupid idea, yeah.
It was a stupid idea, and I think it sort of disappeared without trace. But I did remember having seen it.
Right.
So yes, the Morgan quiz was lots of fun, not just because we won.
Yeah, we were on a team with Anne Jones, who has a gaming company called Cards or Die,
In Leeds,
and a friend of hers. So there were 4 of us. We didn't do it on our own.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Was there a library at all? Could you borrow games from somewhere, or was it?
There was in the open gaming section, there wasn't like a formal library like you have UK Games Expo or Aircon. There's like a room where you can go in and book things out and scan it in and scan it back again and things like that. Here it was much more informal. They had one of the tables had some games on it, and it was just, here's some games. If you want to play one of these, help yourself.
Right.
And a lot of them were brand new and unopened. There were some exit games on there, which are obviously only one playthrough. So if anybody played them,
a variety of things. So whatever gaming situation you had, whether it was like, I've come with my 9-year-old, or there's 4 of us and we wanted to play something heavy. Yeah. Whatever it was, there'd be something there for you. I mean, they had like Pandemic.
Yeah.
And things like that. So,
and it was on an honour system. Nobody was watching it, or
I think it's a sort of a nice middle ground. It's a nice way of doing it. It wasn't a massive selection, but they didn't have to bother with the big sort of
checkers and checkouts and chasing people up and things. Yeah, I suppose.
I think with having all the stands there as well, I think a lot of people were playing things that they just well. So I mean, we didn't.
We took a few small games with us, which we didn't play.
A couple of them played.
We did, yes.
Fake Artist Goes to New York.
Yes. Which went down very well. So,
but yes, it was. We didn't need to get anything off the library table.
Yeah.
But it looked like a good selection.
Yeah.
And as far as food's concerned, there were no external food sellers, but the racecourses' food options were open. Most of them, not all.
And they were okay.
Yeah, they were fine.
They were fine for what you'd expect from them.
They were fine. They were priced like you'd expect, but not as dear as at some venues.
Okay.
And there was also sort of a large fish and chip shop just up the road if anybody could be bothered to go out and go to that. So, no difficulty there. And there was soft drinks, tea, coffee, and a bar.
Yeah. That's good.
I hear the pies were good. I think the venue was perfectly adequate for it. It was nice lighting, good space.
And we did talk to the organiser a little bit when we came out of the quiz, and he said he was trying to book it again for next year.
Oh, brilliant.
So,
It'd be good for us, having a local con nearby.
Yeah. So that's one to watch out for next year.
Yeah, I didn't manage to get to this one, but I would have if we weren't away doing something else. But it's quite close by compared to the rest, isn't it? So it'd be good if it would be an annual thing, and then try and get to it. So and any negatives or anything they could have done better, or anything that
I don't think so. No, I mean, you asked earlier on about parking, and I went straight onto public transport. There is a big car park across the road, which is for the racecourse and the local hospital. It's massive, and they've got stewards putting people into places on it.
We did drive up and down the road a few times before we found that, but it is there. With a big sign on it as well.
It's just the sign starts off by saying hospital, and further down it says racecourse. So if you don't spot it straight away, you think it's just a hospital car park.
I
see. Yeah.
And and they got staff in there putting people into spaces. They were filling from one end, and it was all well conducted and everything. So, yeah, good park.
Yeah.
And we stayed because even though it's only near, we knew we'd want to sort of carry on playing quite late.
Yeah.
So we stayed overnight at the hotel next to the racecourse. There's a Hilton right there, sort of just next to it, which is for anybody coming from further away.
Yeah.
And there are other hotels in the area.
Yeah, sounds very good. Yeah, I'll be excited to try that one next year if they do it again. Anything else you want to add, or is that pretty much covered everything?
Things coming up. There's aircon in a couple of weeks.
There is, yes. And the main aircon in Harrogate.
Harrogate, yeah.
I know they've branched out a few.
Yeah.
They've metastasized.
So we are going to that one. Okay. And in Sheffield there is ChillCon, which it's more of a tabletop board gaming event. We've not been before. Wondered whether we might go to that this year, but so yeah, that's coming up shortly. I can't remember the date.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
March 21st.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Oh, I might pop down to that one then.
21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday.
And it's at Hillsborough College.
Yeah.
Oh, it might be interesting to pop into. Yeah, it's not too far from me, so... Oh, sponsored by The Outpost. Our friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, mainly tabletop gaming, but, models gaming, but might be worth going to.
Yeah.
And that's got some speakers as well, and one of them I see is Annie Norman, who makes some excellent miniatures of women figures.
Well, I think that's pretty much covered everything, so I guess just leaves me to say thank you to Tom and Polly for coming on today. Thank you for coming on and talking to us about everything you've been doing. We've been Sheffield Board Gamers. We play at the University Arms every Tuesday. And like I mentioned earlier, we'll be at the Outpost on the 8th of March. So come and see us there on Sunday. And we'll hopefully see you on the next episode. So goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye.